Pacific Unite, saving lives together. Concert to unite Pacific region in the fight against COVID-19. All right, we're going to come here to the beginning because one of our favorite philanthropists gives an opening statement, and I just found it so genuine, so empowering, so brave that Prince Charles here took a minute out from his busy schedule, sterilizing the third world, took a moment off from his busy schedule to give us a message. So let's hear it.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I was most touched to have been asked to speak to you as you gather for this very special concert. And I did just want to pay tribute to the United Nations for bringing us all together in this way. I've been particularly fortunate to have made many visits to the Pacific over the years. My first being to Fiji 50 years ago this year to represent Her Majesty the Queen at the independence celebrations. In 1974, I spent several months on a Pacific deployment when I was serving in the Royal Navy and have very special memories of all the Commonwealth Island states we visited.
I have very special memories of all of our little vassal states, which we can use for their labor and for their resources. And I feel particularly horny about this opportunity to further starve children of resources and food, and further destroy the lives of all you beautiful people in these islands.
I need hardly say that my family and I have always held the greatest affection for your region.
His family, they've always held the greatest affection for his region, for their region, the Pacific Islands. He just has nothing but respect, nothing but love for all of you non-essential people. Prince Charles, everybody. Close friends with Jimmy Savile, another philanthropist who really liked children. Jimmy Savile, close friends with the royal family, close friends with Prince Charles here. How nice of him. How nice of Jimmy Savile and Jeffrey Epstein's friends to take some time out of their day to help with their philanthropy. So I don't know how long he talks for. He talks for like 5 minutes. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. Let's jump forward here. Let's hear some of the special parts.
Appallingly devastating effects of severe weather events such as...
Severe weather events. All severe weather events, remember, they're all because of climate change. And the climate is changing, and these severe weather events are, of course, because you all have too many children. You lot are having too many children. You all continue to breathe and breed. And if we could just stop you from breathing and breeding, everything would be okay.
Cyclone Harold. These challenges that you and so many other people around the world now face have at last begun to push not only climate adaptation, but also the increasingly urgent need to tackle the root causes of global warming and climate change towards the top of the international agenda. And this will be at the forefront of issues for the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP26, in November 2021.
Remember, this is Pacific Region Unite in the fight against COVID-19. Wait a minute. I thought we were fighting a virus. What does this have to do with climate change? Wait a minute. Well, guess what? All these regulations, all these things you see being rolled out in response to this situation, these are the same things they were trying to get rolled out in response to the totally real and not made up #climate crisis, right? Which is austerity, which is shutting down small family business, which is erecting a global system, a global McMonoculture, a global cult dedicated to saving the planet by making ourselves destitute, poor, and starve. Starving ourselves. Now, this is how you save the world. Right? Stopping eating meat, stopping eating the foods that you need. The foods that you can nourish yourself on your own land, those are bad. You can't fish in the ocean anymore. You can't have livestock. You can't have chickens. You can't have pigs. You can't have cows. Those are all diseased. You're going to get diseases from those. And they're destroying the planet. Their toxic gases are flowing up into the atmosphere and clogging up Mommy Earth's sad, sick little lungs that keep coughing and coughing because she's so sad because all the people won't stop living.
Glasgow, where I look forward to joining world leaders as they strive to increase both the level of ambition and the acceleration of solutions at scale.
So what he's saying here is they want to accelerate this agenda. They want to accelerate what they're calling the Great Reset, this great overhaul of every aspect of our lives. Everything we do, everything we consume, tracked, traced, monitored, and guess what? Guess what? Dispensed to you. Dispensed to us. Kibble rations, carbon rations, social credits. This is what it's about. It's about fourth industrial revolution, surveillance tech inside of everybody's home, surveillance tech inside of everybody's bodies as well. All right, bigots, you understand that?
All around the world, as we learn to live with and recover from the pandemic,
all around the world, people make time, romping and a stomping, because I'm in my prime. This is Prince Charles.
we have the opportunity to reset and build back better to a more sustainable, resilient, and inclusive future for the generations that will follow.
Ooh, resilient, inclusive. Guess what he means by inclusive? You all got to take part. Everybody must be included. Is what they mean by inclusive. What they mean by equitable is mandatory for everybody. They want equitable digital currencies, equitable tracking and tracing of everybody, equitable dishing out of mandatory happy, healthy medicine injections, sustainable, resilient, inclusive, meaning nobody's excluded. You're all going to get tracked like cattle. This is what these people want. If we continue to submit, if people continue to buy into this shit, if people continue to buy into the nonsense that they're told on their television, if they continue to buy into the nonsense that these social media starlets and stars are pumping out, they continue to believe the bullshit celebrities from the Hollywood pedocracy. If people continue to believe that, that's where it's going. Inclusive, resilient. This is a rebranding of Brave New World. This is technocracy. This is, what do they call it? They call it fully automated luxury communism. We talked about the last one. You had Forbes, The Atlantic, New York Times, all talking about fully automated luxury communism. It's going to be great, sustainable, resilient, inclusive, tolerant, progressive. All these words that sound nice. They're buzzwords. They're empty. They're hollow propaganda slogans. The dude's reading off the teleprompter, doesn't give a shit about you, does not care about any of us. This dude is best friends, best buddies with Jimmy Savile. The late Jimmy Savile, who was knighted. Sir Jimmy Savile. And things that he's guilty of, you can't even say them. It's shameful to speak the things that these people do behind closed doors.
It is absolutely vital that we rapidly scale up our efforts to restore and protect humanity's lost balance with nature if we are to build the necessary foundation for sustainable and inclusive growth for generations.
We have to reconnect with nature. Nature. Guess what he means by that? He means you get out of nature and we keep human beings away from nature because they think that you're an abomination in nature. They see us as cattle, worse than cattle. They see us as a cancer on the planet. And these people have openly programmed generations to repeat and believe the same thing. There we go. Got some. Look, you see what that is right there? That's real food. That's real food. That's real cheese. That's real cheese. That's food that comes from the mountain we live on. Indigestible herbs and shrubs from this mountain, from the valley we live in right here. Our cows turn this into bioavailable protein, fat, and carbohydrate. We turn that into cheese. Look at that. They want to make this shit illegal. They're telling you that it's more sustainable for you to have GMO soy that's grown by debt slaves in Chile or Argentina or Brazil And then you take that Brazilian or Chilean soybean and send that over to China. Then in China, they're going to take that and put it through a super magic science machine. Ooh, science! They're going to put it through the science machine. And the science machine is going to turn that into a plant-based cheese that tastes like plastic. And they're going to ship that from China back over to the United States, wrapped up in plastic, and send that to your door. Oh, you can get it delivered right to your door from the super awesome science machines from Amazon. And that's going to be delivered to your door by drone, and you can pay with that with your social credits that you gain by snitching on your neighbors and your families and denouncing everything it is to be human, so you can get your social credits so you can buy your fake cheese, your fake plastic cheese, because that's sustainable. Now, this is the business model that the World Economic Forum, the World Wildlife Fund, the royal family, the UN, this is what they're pushing. This industrial agriculture model scaled up. Oh, it's the progress of science. We have to get back to nature. Who writes the script for these people?
Generations to come. While seeking to raise the global ambition for net zero from...
Net zero. Guess what? When you exhale, when you breathe, the breath of life that comes out of your body, that breath of life that you're blessed with by the Creator, that you're given by God, that breath of life is being determined to be a biological weapon. That is being called a contaminant. Every time you exhale, you're contaminating the planet, and they want you at net zero, net zero. That's just like net carbs, right? You got net carbs. Oh, look, we put a bunch of fiber powder in this product. Therefore, the net carbs are lower. They're doing the same game with this net zero carbon emissions. First of all, they programmed you to think that carbon is bad. That's what plants breathe. That's what your child exhales. The breath of life that comes out of you. They've labeled that an environmental toxin. They've labeled your baby's environmental toxins. They're labeling your livestock environmental toxins. These people are genocidal freaking maniacs. These are nuts. These are nuts. These people openly talk about wanting to depopulate most of the human beings on the planet. We've documented this for years on the channel here. And when he says net zero, he means your exhales, your children's exhalations. We want zero carbon. How are you going to get zero carbon? How are you going to get zero carbon if that's what we exhale?
2050 to 2035, my Sustainable Markets Initiative and the Great Reset are looking urgently to put people and planet at the heart of global value creation. I have the greatest possible confidence in the spirit and strength of the people of the Pacific to rise to the challenges you face and to seize the real opportunities that a more sustainable future can offer.
So I thought this was about this terrible disease. We're all supposed to be wearing masks, solidarity. No. They start this out by 5-minute talk about climate change and sustainability, and we have to change the way we live because Prince Charles is going to save the planet from you dirty, grubby human babies. You're starting to see a pattern here. Starting to see a pattern.